Definitely need to wash my windows. I am aware of that. What's wrong? Your ball? Toy. Yeah. Don't eat me. Don't eat me. No, no. The babies can eat it. Oh, she's can't. Go get one of your own toys. Go get one of your toys in the basket right there. Go get a toy. Go get a toy. Shake. Good girl. Shake. This one. Nope.
You gotta switch
This
hands.
one. Shake.
See,
Girl.
I taught her to
Okay, now
switch
shake.
hands with me.
Shake. Nope, not this one. Shake. Yes. Now shake. Yes. Oh, that's clever.
Oh.
Boop. Oh. You silly goose, and I love you. Pat, 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 pat.
Like make butterfly
Ooh.
Lego.
That does look like a lovely butterfly Lego. Say Dean. Hi friends. Is this a weird angle? Maybe. We're gonna just roll with it because whatever. I didn't adjust my tripod all the way. Hi, are you coloring? Go color me a beautiful picture. Okay. Finishing my coffee and the baby just went down for an early nap. He went down at like 10. So he's been down for a little bit. It's like 10:35 right now. I don't know how long he will stay asleep. He's not been napping very long lately, but that's okay. It is snowing outside. I've been texting Cody all morning because he's driving out to the mountains today to deliver a vehicle to somebody. So once in a while for certain customers in certain situations, he will personally deliver vehicles. So you drew a picture?
Yeah.
I'm always a little bit worried about him when he's like driving far. It's snowing today. The roads are not great. He's a wonderful, amazing driver and I'm not actually worried. I worry, you know? Anyway, drinking my coffee. The big kids are doing school right now. Grayson's doing school on the couch in front of me and Mackenzie's up on her computer doing her schoolwork. They're so digital now. Most of their stuff is all online except for like a few things. Not to give a homeschool update, but you guys often ask for like homeschool videos, which is so hard for me because I never know what to film because sometimes it's hard for me when we're very unschooly. And we've come back into that a lot more. We're very unschooled again. We're not following a curriculum currently. We've kind of just put that aside. It just doesn't work for the season of life for us. It's not actually enjoyable for us right now, so we just stopped. And we're using a lot of online resources for like the spine of things, and then obviously just like child-led learning. Mackenzie is working through high school credits. Again, I'll probably talk about a whole homeschool video, but just a brief update. She is trying to fast track through her high school, so we'll see what happens with that. It's really difficult to do, so I don't know if it's actually going to be something that she realizes is something she wants to do as she goes through. She's still in junior high, in her last year of junior high right now, and then she heads to high school next year. She plans to do home high school, and but we're working on credits early, so she's doing a year of credits right now, because like in Alberta, in Canada, you can do some credits in junior high, so she's working on the ones that she's allowed to do now, and then she's right now, it's like in the middle of creating her plan to fast track herself through high school. She would love to graduate early and start university early, so we'll see what her future holds. We'll see. I'm just letting her lead right now, and I'm so inspired by her and proud of her. And then Grayson, he's in the 5th grade, and so he's just working through it. Loves math. I think he's doing math right now. He's doing math and grammar, and he's working on some world history right now. He's really into like other stuff on his own, and he's just running into that. They have some fun activities coming up. I'm excited for the spring and the summer to do more of our homeschool activities. We've kind of taken the winter off because we were getting sick all the time, and it's too much with babies. So we all kind of agreed to take a step back, but they do have sports today, and they're gonna go off to their sports classes this afternoon. So just having a chill home day. Even though it is snowing outside and it is a very cold February, I haven't seen a February this cold in a long time. It's like we had an extreme cold morning where the wind chill was getting past -45 last night and the night before. Very cold, so it's still quite chilly, but in this next 2-week span, leave it to Canadians to talk about the weather all the time, but I have the majority of the people who watch my videos right now are not Canadian, so I always chat with you guys about Canadian stuff because you guys really seem to like it and are interested in the way we live up here. Over here, I have a lot of viewers from the UK and a lot of American viewers too. So hi guys. But then hello to my fellow Canadians too. Hi. Normally it's not quite this cold, but in the next 2 weeks we're going from no kill, just knock him out, fight him, go fight him on the couch. They can fight each other. If anybody else has an age gap, just as a side note, if anybody else has an age gap that is really large, it's so hard because Grayson as a 2-year-old never did like guns and killed this guy and fighting and blah, not to the degree that Zag does, because he can't keep that away from them when they have an older brother, and there's like older boys playing in the house when Gray has friends over and stuff. They're not rough or like rude, but they're like playing sword fight and stuff like that, and they're like, I killed you, blah. So like he's picked up that. It is what it is. I'm just letting okay. Knock out. Sword. Knocked him out with a sword.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, in the next 2 weeks, we're going from like -35 in the 14-day forecast to +3. So it's going to be like a really big shock to the system. Anyway, in saying all of this, we are going to be out of this deep freeze before we know it, and spring will be upon us in the next few weeks. And our seasons can transition really fast here, which is a little bit of whiplash, but I'm starting to plan for the garden. I'm really excited. I have ordered some gardening things, just a few things. I need to order my seeds, and I need to go get my seeds. I'm doing things a little bit differently this year, and I don't think I'm going to start any seeds this year. I think I've discovered that I really like direct sowing into the ground. I have really good success with it because we're south facing. My gardens get really, really hot. So my soil will be workable probably mid to end March next month. And I can start planning and planting some things right into the ground. And I find when I don't transfer, when I plant seeds, I have much more abundance and a much larger yield and a larger crop come the summertime. So that works for me. And so I'm gonna try an experiment. Every year I'm doing a different experiment. I feel like this year I'm gonna be experimenting with direct sowing everything, including my flowers. I think I actually, just to make it easier on myself too, I think I just might go to the greenhouse and buy some flowers for my front beds. My whole front yard is north facing, like directly. So it's quite shady. It takes almost a full month for the front yard to warm up to the backyard's level. Like it takes a long time. I'm working with two very different, almost feeling like two different seasons in my home. But it takes a long time. Like I don't have full blooms in my front. My front is like more like a little cottagecore garden. I want to amplify that even more this year. I want to make it even more cottagecore and stuff. But because I also am very busy and I'm trying to be realistic with the season that I'm in, I'm probably going to be buying a lot more already grown flowers, already started flowers from the nursery, and just transplanting them into my front beds, because usually I don't get full blooms in my flowers until July, mid-July, end of July into August. And so it's a long time to wait, where again, this is superficial, but my yard ends up looking crappier than other yards around me, and we live in a new neighborhood, so it's like your curb appeal matters. You know, you kind of gotta keep up with the Joneses to a certain degree. You don't want to be the one house that looks like trash all the time. But my garden often looks like really straggly and yucky, and I just let it sit and trust the process. And then like come mid-July, end of July, it's like flowers everywhere, which I love, and I probably will do that to a degree. But I think I'm gonna buy some more plants to kind of fill out the middles. I get a lot of wind issues in the front, really high whipping winds, so I have to be really careful. Like one year the winds were so bad it shredded. I had planted bee balm and it just shredded it right down to the ground. The wind did. It was wild. Anyway, so I'm gonna be spending some time this week writing down my plans, deciding what I want to plant, where I want to plant. I'm excited when my order comes in for my gardening stuff. I'll show you guys what I got and what my plans are with those things. But yeah, I just wanted to chat with you because even though it looks so snowy outside,
You're riding the horse. This is what it looks like outside my windows.
and even though it's snowy and cold, spring will be here before we know it. And you have to prepare if you want a garden as robust as I do. And I want the yard to be really, really kid friendly this year. I want to be able to, we have a really safe yard. It's fully fenced. My fences are over 6 feet and it's a very secure yard. So I need to spot train my new dog because she came in the fall and we just didn't bother spot training her yet. So we'll spot train her this spring. Spot training just means I teach her to go to the bathroom in one specific spot so she's not pooping all over my grass, all over my yard, and peeing, so that my toddlers, my babies, my kids, all of them can just go play in the grass. And I don't have to worry about dog bombs everywhere. So we have to designate the spot, make it very obvious for her. I need to put up some fencing in my front yard, some like small 1-foot fencing, because people are rude and let their dogs pee on my grass. If you are somebody that does that, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let your dogs go onto people's lawns and pee on them or poop on them, because it burns the grass, it wrecks flower beds. My kids can't enjoy our front yard when there's other people's dog poop that they didn't pick up on my lawn. Drives me crazy. I'm putting a fence up and solving that problem this year and putting a sign out there. It's like, stop it. Because I'm sick of it. So that's one of my plans. Little rant there. I want to put like a mud kitchen into my backyard this year. I want to do berry bushes. I want to put some really open-ended play spaces back there and just things for the kids to do, so that I can leave the door open. I'm gonna get like a removable screen for the back door so that Zeg can kind of come and go this summer in the yard, and because I'm gonna be sitting and nursing with the baby and not always going to be able to like directly take him outside. So I want the kids to all be able to like go and come inside. I'm excited for this year. I'm gonna try and not make it too expensive because it can get out of hand really quickly, but it's gonna be good, and I'm really excited to start those plans. So anyway, today we're staying cozy. We're going to be just tidying up. I've got to make some bread. I want to do a little bit of a bread experiment, and I'll talk to you guys about that in a moment. And I want to do some gardening planning and some editing and some filming and things like that. Just a little cozy day at home. There will be a link below for that printable that I just showed of my cleaning checklist. So I follow this every day. I actually custom made this for myself, but for also other people. It's been like years in the making of trial and error of things that work. Zeg copies everything I say, so you'll hear that in the background. The link will be below for you, the PDF. It's less than a cup of coffee. I kept it really cheap. I just want to help people out and give it to people. There's a meal plan that matches. That's how I plan all my meals. I'm so happy that at the end of last year, middle of last year, I decided to finally organize it all, make a printable, and then make it shareable with you guys. I'm actually in the middle of switching back to my Etsy shop. So there will be a link, but I don't know if it's going to be my website or my Etsy shop. I'm doing some changes. If you want the printable, it'll be available through a PDF purchase in the link below. Again, it's really cheap, but it is quite awesome, and it keeps me on top of my house. Zeph is eating sweet potatoes, and the other kids are having minestrone soup with grilled cheese sandwiches, and then I am having this chicken bowl. I don't know, it doesn't have a name. I just made it up. Oop, I just spilled quinoa all over myself. And I'm having a glass of half chocolate milk and half just organic milk because it's my little treaty treat. I love having this with lunch. Okay, so I know I've been talking about like fitness and health stuff. Normally, I eat the same thing as the kids, but I made all the, I prepped the ingredients for all this on Sunday night. And then we ate this for lunch yesterday, and the kids just didn't want to eat it for lunch today. So they had, Grayson had sausage rolls, and Mackenzie and Zag had minestrone soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. And I'm eating the leftovers today. So this lunch, this bowl that I'm eating right now, this is about 102 grams of protein just in this bowl. Because it's a quinoa bowl, and it's got chicken in it. So probably by the time I'm done, I do track my food on Chronometer. I'm not sponsored or anything like that, don't worry about it. It's free, but this is how I keep up with my protein goals and making sure I'm not surpassing my fat intake. I don't watch my fat too much. Healthy fat is super, super, super needed for my body after my surgery, but I do have to make sure I don't go too hard, which is almost impossible to do when you're eating whole foods. But I have to make sure I don't go too crazy since I don't have a gallbladder. So this, again, this meal alone with my chocolate milk included is about 102 grams of protein. I'll probably be like just over 160 grams today when I'm done, which is actually like a super awesome protein day for me. I don't usually get this high. My minimum is hit 100. But I don't have a recipe for this. These are just like lunch bowls that I do. I'll do some sort of grain. So yesterday I made rice and quinoa because the kids don't love quinoa. So the toddlers, the babies and I ate quinoa, and the big kids ate rice. Actually, no, I did a combination of rice and quinoa for Zag. And then I just diced chicken breast. You season them with, I just season them with herbs and garlic and salt and pepper and like, you know, every herb under the sun. Then I made a sweet potato hash with like, oh God, half a huge bag of kale and garlic, and I cooked that down and seasoned that well. Always season everything. If you want healthy food to taste good, don't be afraid to season things. And then I just put it over a bed of quinoa. So it looks like super, like a lot. It is a lot. It turns out to be, but it's about a cup and a half of quinoa, and then a whole bunch of chicken. So I was trying to eat the chicken leftovers, which is, but anyway, it's delicious, and it's one of my favorite bowls to make. So if you're looking for meal ideas that are quick, when you don't have time and you're feeding babies with one hand, I prep this on like a Sunday, or half of it I prepped on Sunday, half of it I prepped on Monday, and you could eat this for like 4 days. I think this is how I'm gonna do it from now on. I showed you guys what I was having for lunch. I've been talking a lot about nutrition. Well, I've been talking some about health and fitness and nutrition. And this is how we're gonna balance it, because I think this is a really important side note. You just saw me eating a lunch with 102 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein. That doesn't mean you should copy what I'm eating. I wanna make this abundantly clear. Something that is very easy to do online is you see somebody who is following down a health path and you're like, oh, I'll do that just like them, without understanding bio-individuality. Everybody has an individual makeup of their own biology. Their bodies are built different, everything. Like, a lot of you guys don't know that I am almost 5'11". I mean, I don't care about like weight stuff. That doesn't bother me, so I don't mind saying this here. Postpartum right now, I am 185 pounds and 5'11". Like, that is so much bigger than so many other women. So what meet my needs, I'm also breastfeeding. I am 8 months postpartum. I am very active. I'm working out like 5 days a week. Like, those things make what I do and what I consume totally customized to me. So if you were to follow what I'm doing and eating and everything, and let's say you were not breastfeeding, or you were breastfeeding but you're only 5'4", and you aren't as active, or you're way more active, your body and your lifestyle do not match this diet. Not even diet, but like the way I am fueling my body. You need to fuel your body in a way that makes sense for your body. It's like, if you have unhealed thyroid issues or like gut problems, then you're not going to be able to eat like somebody who has healed those things, right? And also, like, things that I'm taking right now, for example, supplement wise, are supporting me now that I don't have a gallbladder. You might not need those things because maybe you have a healthy functioning gallbladder. I just wanted to say that, because not everybody would be able, like, if you're trying to eat like somebody else, like, this is a huge portion of food is what is, well, like, it's big. And a lot of people would struggle through that. One, I take my time to eat. Like, I'm still eating and it's been like half an hour, 20 minutes at least. And I took my food over here because the babies were playing and they were finished their lunch. I chew each bite thoroughly. I savor my food, and I probably won't snack between now and dinner. So there's small things like that that can get missed when we share en masse on social media, and it's really important to remember. The reason I'm sharing this is just kind of to like break that down for anybody who maybe doesn't realize these things, because I never want you to watch my videos and feel like, one, you need to copy me, or you should copy me, or do what I'm doing to achieve your own health goals. I hope that I inspire you to figure out what works for you, and you can take things that I'm doing and cater them to you and what works for you. That's okay. But I never want anybody to watch my stuff and think they should do what I'm doing exactly. Because I think, again, we need to really take bio-individuality quite seriously. And the unfortunate thing is people just forget that, or people aren't told that, or influencers, not saying that I'm an influencer because I am not, but they don't consider that or take that seriously at all when speaking to an audience. Like, you shouldn't be eating like you live up north with no sun if you're in Hawaii, and you shouldn't be eating like you live in Hawaii when you're up north with no sun. You know what I mean? So just take that into account when you're watching me and my health journey, and especially this year, as it's like a very prevalent thing I'm doing. It's something I'm working really hard towards because I have major life goals that my fitness needs to support. Like, I want to have another baby. I need to restore all of my minerals from my last pregnancy. I need to recover from having my surgery. I need to get back to a baseline after having a baby. But all those things for me are married with a lot of very specific to me things. So I just want to make that very clear, and be very transparent about that with you guys. Okay, it's been a little bit of time now. I have been just getting stuff done around the house, tidying up, because the cleaning never ends. And now I'm making dinner and prepping dinner. My kids had their class, they got back, all was well. What else am I missing? Now I'm just doing a super quick and easy sheep pan ham. You guys know, if you've been watching, this is one of my go-to dinners. We don't do it every week, but we do it often, probably twice a month maybe. Sometimes we take breaks from ham, but tonight is sheep pan ham night. Okay, I wanted to talk to you guys about something too, because I know I just made I kind of just chatted about the fitness stuff and the nuance behind the fitness and health stuff. But I want to chat about the nuance with the homekeeping and my cleaning rhythm. If you look at my cleaning rhythm, and you, like me, have a lot of children, a big age range, maybe you are homeschooling as well, and your kids don't leave the house and they don't go anywhere, and your kids are just here all the time, it means you never get a break. There's no space where your kids are just off doing something else and you just get to clean the house for an hour. That doesn't exist for moms like you and I. And if it does exist for you, that's awesome, and that's so great. You get to dedicate that time to your house. One day I'll be back to that space, just like I was once upon a time. But right now, that's just not the season of life I'm in. And so I want to make it abundantly clear. If you look at my cleaning rhythm, and that looks intimidating to you, because you're like, how would I do that in a day? I want to make it so clear that this is a rhythm. There's a reason I've called this the homemaking rhythm and not the homemaking schedule or the homemaking checklist. Don't feel pressure to get it all done, because there are days where I skip it. But if you follow the general routine of the rhythm, of the homemaking rhythm, if you don't have time for something, that's okay. It can just wait to the next week. Because you're keeping on top of everything to the best of your ability, you don't need to complete everything every day. Nothing is going to happen if you skip it and do it next week, or skip it until, maybe this is a Tuesday job, but on Friday, you're going to have an extra hour and you can do that job. Then do it then. And if you don't get to it, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Do it when you can do it later. That could be a next week problem for next week you. And I just want to make that really clear that I am not always checking off every single thing on my list. I feel like I'm very honest in this space with you guys. You guys see my home. You see my laundry everywhere. You see dishes in the sink. These counters are not super clean right now. I've been cooking all day. My kitchen is a working kitchen. Our house, for our size of family, is not huge. Like, we live in a big, beautiful house. I will never take that for granted after living in a one-bedroom basement apartment for so long. But our house isn't huge to have 6 people in it. We have little kids. I have a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old. And then older kids as well. Like, it is, and dogs, and a bird. You know, the list is never ending. I always want this space to be one of lightness and inspiration for you. The wording of rhythm was very intentional because, you guys, life is not perfect. Life is messy. There's a reason I always say done is better than perfect. I want the time you spend here to feel light and inspired. I don't want you leaving feeling like, oh, I didn't accomplish it like this or something else. I always want to drive home the fact that you should have so much grace with yourself. Now, sometimes in our lives, I'm speaking from experience, sometimes we can just be being lazy. We can call ourselves out a little bit. Sometimes we need to just not be lazy. We need to be more diligent, blah, blah, blah. That's not what we're talking about here. So I just want to show you that, like, with that, if you look at that and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get there? One step at a time. And just know that it's a rhythm. It's not a checklist. It's not a schedule. This is not the army. You're a mom at home. You do your best. And your best is good enough. And done is better than perfect. You guys have heard me say this a million times, so I'll say it a million more. Done is better than perfect. Get the job done and move on. Anyway, okay, gonna keep making this, but I just wanted to say this because if you are a new mom, especially, if you're a new mom aspiring to have many children, grace is something you will learn to have with yourself, and getting rid of the perfectionism is going to save your mental health. I really think that's true. Okay friends, dinner is going to be on. I'm in my last 10 minutes of dinner. I just gotta cook the beans, but I'm gonna wait until Cody tells me he's on his way home because he's always about 10 minutes away. So I think I'm actually gonna end the vlog here. I've noticed that our evening routine is so busy and just very hands-on, getting these 2 babies to bed and hanging out with the bigger kids and closing down the kitchen and closing down the house and doing all of that, that I almost have always been forgetting to end the vlogs. So I'm just going to end the vlog here, and maybe I'll just get used to doing that for most nights unless it's like a special video where I'm like doing an evening routine or something. I think I'm going to just start ending the vlogs here. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. I hope you are doing well. How are you guys all surviving the last little bit of winter? For us, it's like we're in the middle of a deep freeze still. It's been long. This is so cold for February, as I was saying earlier. It's tough. I miss going outside. I miss walking. I'm holding on to the hope that it's just around the corner, that we can go out for walks again, and I can send the kids outside to play, and we can go for picnics and just break up the day a little bit more. But until then, we'll be here doing things much like we did today. So feel free to share your thoughts with me down below about anything we talked about today. And my kids are so loud and crazy and I love them. Anyway, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Until then, we'll see you later.